Hey everybody, it is Rolly, and I am jumping on. So yesterday, like some really strange things have happened. So yesterday was Thursday, which means that I should have jumped in and did talk back Thursday, but there's a number of different things that happened that didn't allow me the opportunity or the time to be able to jump in and do talk back Thursday. So I'm jumping on and doing talk back Thursday today because it is. Um, the day just can't get any better. So it is evening time. I am finally just I'm finally just grounded. I am finally no longer flying all over the place and just literally just flying. And so I am so thrilled. I am so excited. And yeah, so I wanted to share today's journey. So I guess I'll kind of go backwards to yesterday. So last night my daughter-in-law sent me a message and said, "Hey, did you want to come over and do some snuggles?" And so, of course, I jump at every opportunity that I can because I can't always, or at least I may not necessarily be able to at that immediate moment. But I was able to jump in a little later, and I said, "Okay, sure. As soon as I'm done doing this, I will head over and I will come and do some snuggles." And so I went in and we were talking and I was doing some snuggles and he was fussy a little bit. So I got him all snuggled in and he's having a good snooze on me. So I'm like holding him and he's snoozing. And so Clark's like all bundled up and it was just amazing. And so like I love those moments. And so I love being able to take those moments and having that time. And we did have some talking time before that, but then I got him all settled. And so then he was sound asleep in my arms. And so like I was holding on to him. And then I was scrolling through my phone with my other hand. And then just as I was scrolling through on Facebook and there's a notification that said, "Hey, there's only a very short period left or a short time left, only hours to go or something like that." I can't remember what it was. And that caught my attention, but it caught my attention. And so it was the Timiskaming District, um, Foundation, I think it's called. But anyway, they were doing their 50-50 draw, and they do this every month. And so I periodically buy tickets. Like I don't always buy tickets, but like I buy tickets. And so I bought some tickets. So I decided to buy some tickets while I'm sitting there snuggling with Clark. And then on as I was going through, and then so I finished doing the transaction, and then I kind of leaned in and gave him a kiss and said, "Hey, Nukum would really like it if you could actually visualize," because he's asleep at this point. So visualize. And at the time when I actually bought the ticket, it was $130,000, and I said, "So just visualize, it's $130,000 flowing its way into my bank account, and like I'd really appreciate some extra support on this excursion or this thing." And so I gave him another kiss, and Brooklyn had heard me, and she's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, I said I just bought some tickets, so like I'm just saying like he should probably help give some good luck going our way, and get some money flowing, and that would be really cool if we actually won the jackpot, the grand prize." And it was going to be like the next day, and then I really just kind of left it at that. And so then and Casey thinks that I'm crazy, so like just so that everybody knows, my son thinks I'm absolutely nuts, that he's like this moon magic craziness. And he's like, "Hey, you're just nuts." And so, and I don't know if you guys are watching, whoever it is that's watching, there was something that just came out of the corner of, and I think it was probably like a dust bunny or something, like a little dust thing, but it came over here somewhere and it landed. So, oh, there, see? Is that, did you see that? There's something in my room, because it's not my watch or anything like that. So there's some sort of entity or spirit in my room. So anyway, so he thinks that I'm crazy, and that's okay. And so then when I was talking to, so anyway, I did a run for Sheldon today. So I worked for Sheldon today because he was triple booked. And so I was doing one of his runs today. And so on my way back, I got a phone call, and the call display showed up and said that it was the hospital. "Hey, Heather." And so it showed up, and it's so it showed up, and I'm like, okay, so like there's like pretty cool, or so like I'm like, okay, so my mother-in-law had just had a CT scan, and I thought, well, maybe they're calling because like the doctor ordered something else, and I don't know what it is, so maybe we have to go to Timmins with her for whatever reason. Like it's kind of weird that maybe they didn't, but it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna answer the phone anyway. So then I answered the call, and of course I'm on speaker because I'm driving, and so the guy says that the guy that called, he said that he was calling from the Timiskaming Hospital, and then he said the foundation, and I'm like, no way. There's no way that you are calling me to tell me that, oh, did you see that? There it is again. There's no way that you are calling me to tell me that I won. And he's like, and then I don't remember what it is that he said, because it's really truly a huge blur. And so like it's really too bad that I couldn't record what it is that was being said, because like I don't remember what it is that the whole conversation was. But he was like trying to like egg me on and kind of going, and I'm like, no way. There's no way that, and that's what I kept saying, or basically saying that it's like there's no way that I just won this. And so then I said, so then he finally said, yes, you won. And then he told me how much that I won. And I'm like, what? No way. Like, so, because when I did it, when I purchased the ticket, it was like around $130,000. And which is lots. Like that's huge. That's huge amounts of money. And so I'm like, there's no way. So then he asked me, he's like, so why did you buy a ticket? Like it was last minute. Like, why did you at the last minute buy a ticket? And I said, and so I had told the story about snuggling with my grandson and saying like, hey, you should give me some good vibes. And so and you should take a drink. And so I said, you need to give me some good vibes. And so like I told him that whole story, and that I was snuggling with him, and so he's like, okay. So he's continuing to talk, and then he's explaining the process, and apparently somebody else is going to call me in an hour to be able to confirm, and that I was going to get an email as well, confirming the numbers, and so like there's all these different things. So he said I needed a drink, and I didn't even take a drink. So, but one of the things that is like really cool about all of this is the whole fact that this entire month we've actually been working on gratitude and connecting on gratitude. And anybody who's actually joined me on the challenge knows that this has been like really big in terms of like gratitude and that connection. And so when we were doing all this, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm like, and I was trembling. And so it was just like, I was just shaking. And so then when he's like, are you driving? And I'm like, yes, but I'm on speaker. Like I said, like I'm on hands free. Like I'm not doing anything that I'm not supposed to. I said, I am driving though. So then I get back to, like, so he finally says, okay, well, somebody's going to get in touch with you, and kind of so on and so forth. And so then I hang up the phone, and then I call my husband, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I just started to bawl. Like, I'm like just crying. Like, it's like this whole emotion of like, oh my God, like I was just jittery and like really excited and still like, oh my God, seriously. And so I said, so I'm going to, so like I told him what it was that was going on, and said, I don't know all the details. I don't know how that works. Like somebody's going to call back in an hour and give me the details as to how that's going to happen or what's going to happen that way. And so it's just overwhelmingly exciting. And so then I sent my youngest son a text message, and asked him whether or not he was up yet. And so then he texted me back afterwards. And then I had to, and then I couldn't do anything else. So he hadn't answered me right away. I did talk to Brooke and let her know, and I said, like, give Clark a great big kiss and hug for me. And then I told, so then I ended up talking to my other son, and so so super exciting. And so being able to fix the roof on the house for them is going to be what it is that we're going to be focusing on and getting done. And obviously we're going to pay some bills and some things that have been outstanding and things that we need to that we'd like to be able to clear up and kind of get those kinds of things going. But it's like, wow, like I cannot believe that this is actually what's going on. And so as much as I can't believe I am so much like so excited in terms of believing. And so I had a client that was actually coming in when the hospital foundation called me back. And so when the hospital foundation called me back, then shortly after that, my client came. And so I was letting her in. But it was like, and at this point before that, I'm like, okay, well, we're not going to tell a whole bunch of people right away. We're just going to kind of like let things sink in and like talk to, like, there was a few people that we were letting know. And so then when she came in and I'm like, I cannot, like, so she's like listening, obviously listening to the conversation because like we're standing right there and like I'm not going anywhere, not leading her into my office or doing anything like that because I'm still having this conversation and I'm like still super excited about like last minute tickets and like all that kind of stuff. And then so then she figured it out. Obviously she didn't know what I won or what was going on that way, but like so we went through and we talked about that part. And so like I just continued to like be super super giddy and having all of these conversations about all the things while she was coming in for her session. And so it was just so thrilling to be able to do that. It was so thrilling to be able to have these um this happen that I was definitely not expecting, and I was definitely not like, yeah, there's no way. And so, but it really is about being able to stay in that grateful heart and being there. And so when she was talking about it, she's like, oh yeah, so today's April 28th. And so like one of the things that I've learned, and I don't understand it all, so numerology isn't something that I'm super familiar with, but numerology is something that like, so working with numbers. And so one of the things with numerology that I have learned, and there's probably lots more, is that you actually take numbers and you break them down. So like if it is 28, for example, so today is the 28th. And so if you actually take 28 and break it down, then it is 2 plus 8 is 10. And then you break it down even further to being single digit. Then it's 1 plus 0, which is 1. And so this gratitude challenge started on April 1st on my birthday. And so it was all about being able to be in that grateful heart and being in this grateful place and being into like this happiness thing. And so being able to have that going and sharing. And yeah, so like it's like all this thing. So like April 1st, my birthday, April 1st, we started the gratitude challenge. And April 28th, which still brings it down to 1. So it brings it technically to like April 1. And so it's like all that connection and that interconnectedness of all the things, like of all the days of the entire month, it was on the day that fell on my birthday. So like, so even though it was not on my birthday, but it's still within that birthday month. And so yeah, so like again, anybody that follows numbers like knows that that's pretty incredible and that's pretty cool that happened. And so yeah, I'm super excited. And so like of course we've got some ideas of what it is that we're going to be doing. Like I said, there's some bill things that I want to like make sure that we've got some things that are cleared up. So that's going to take a good chunk, but then that's like stuff that's going to be gone. And then working on the getting the roof done on the house is going to be the next priority. And then after that, if there's whatever it is that's left over, then we'll figure out what we're going to do with it from there. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. So I am super excited, super thrilled, but I wanted to come on to be able to talk about like how that connected into the gratitude. And again, I know that that's woo-y and people, and of course, like that's like, just because like I've put it out there and I've done this doesn't mean that tomorrow when I do it again, it's going to happen like exactly that same way. But we get abundance and we get things from having a grateful heart. And so sometimes abundance does take form of money, which is awesome. And sometimes it takes into account of like people around us and things that we're doing. And so like I have had this, you love the woo. Yay. Me too. And so like I love that connection. And so I love how all of those things come together. And sometimes like the last few years have been challenging. The last few years have been difficult. And so when we moved into the apartment, on April 1st, it was actually happened to be on April 1st, we were moving and we had the U-Haul. And so like we were moving, my son was moving, we had to move my mother-in-law. So like we had all these, we had 3 houses that were being moved at the same time. So we had the U-Haul and we had people and we had all these things. And so we had, one of the things is I was selling tickets for it was another 50-50 draw, but for the what is it called? Catch the Ace. So it was Catch the Ace. And so I guess it's not technically 50-50, but but Catch the Ace was, so I was selling tickets for those. And so I had bought tickets and the draw happened to be on my birthday, but I had bought tickets early on and never really paid attention to it. And then on my birthday, I get a phone call or I get a tag on Facebook that says that I won. And so the amount of the check covered our meals, covered the expense for the U-Haul, and then we broke a window while we were actually moving, and so it covered the cost of the window, and so like all of this money was covered, and so it was like, okay, so like this is covered, this is all good, and yeah, so I'm just thrilled. I'm so thrilled, and so like yeah. So, and that was a couple years ago. That was a few years ago, and so now here we are again within this month of gratitude and being in that open space. And so, like I said, there's some things that that I'm going to be like that we're going to take care of that are going to be gone and completely off the plate. And then there's going to be some other things that we like I said, until we do the house, like then there's not going to be a whole lot of any other things that are going to be done with that money until we can get that part going. But yeah, I'm thrilled. And so I wanted to share that. I wanted to be able to come on and I wanted to be able to share in that excitement and share the story. And like I said, as much as my son thinks it is all quackadoodle, and maybe he's right, I don't know, but I believe in the quackadoodle stuff. And so I believe that all of this happened exactly as it should. And that extra boost of energy coming from Nickham's love with Clark, that was that combination, I truly believe made a huge difference. And so yeah, so I'm thrilled. I'm excited, and I can't wait. So 10 minutes on to go pick up the check, and with my husband, so he's taken the day off, I've taken the day off. So we're going to go and do some time together and get all that stuff straightened out. And so I have some paperwork stuff that I have to do for them this weekend and send that off. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. So anyway, I will chat with all of you guys later, and I'm thrilled. I'm excited, and thanks guys for joining me in this excitement. So anyway, I will chat with you guys later. Bye for now.